Hi everyone, and welcome to the 11th episode of In the Fox's Den. It's been a little while because we've had Christmas in between and people away in January, but we're back now with a new book as well. And this book is by Lisa Palmer. She's an entrepreneur, author, public speaker, and mentor. She created the Mogul brands, Mogul Private Office, Mogul Vision TV and Film Production Company, Mogul Love Community, and Mogul Freedom Charity. But her true passion is Mogul Matchmakers, which helps people turn their life around with dating advice and matchmaking, relationship advice, and also health and wellness therapies. Lisa is a qualified relationship expert, dating coach, and image consultant. She's a public speaker that has written for the Daily Mail, OK Magazine, the Huffington Post, numerous online magazines, and she has spoken and appeared on Good Morning Britain, Channel 5, ITV This Morning, Property TV, BBC Radio. You will have seen her in all those places, I'm sure. She's a mentor for the Prince's Trust, which is a youth charity that helps vulnerable young people get back on their lives on track. And Lisa's first book was called The Secrets to What Men Really Want. But now she's written a book called The D Word, and that's about divorce. So let's ask her all about it. Welcome, Lisa Palmer. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. As you can see, I've got yet another lockdown hairstyle. So there's not much I can do about that till the barbers open.
It's not too bad actually, Rick. I say, my son, he's 17, and he goes, Mum, can you do my hair? So I have to put sellotape around his head and with the shaver, and honestly, it's left like a mark. It is not a good look. So yeah, I won't come over to do your hair.
I don't think I'll be trying that, to be honest.
No, I won't advise it.
Lisa, obviously we're here to talk about the new book, but before we do that, I'm sure a lot of people that are watching have seen you on so many things on television, but just give us a bit about your background.
Yeah, okay, but so yeah, when I won't go too far, but I'll go back to when I was 17 actually, because that's when it first started. I got my first job, and I was working with about 200 women, and I started then. I was sort of seemed to be at a very early age the agony aunt and kind of like the matchmaker, and I just loved it. My dad owned like a big property development company, and so between them, I'd go to like home and all the guys would be there, like asking either for a bit of advice, and obviously as I grew older, and then they'd be like wanting me to help them like find somebody. So I would kind of be matchmaking there and then matchmaking with all the women. So it was as if it was meant to be, but I just loved it. But from there, obviously, your journey takes you different places. But every company I worked at, I was always the agony aunt and always like absolutely loved it. And long story short, because you'll find that in my book, I kind of like, I suppose, you find your path. Like, I worked in lots of different offices, it just wasn't for me. And going through a painful divorce kind of like rebooted my life. And I started again, and I trained as a relationship expert, dating expert, matchmaker, image consultant, you name it, I'd done it, because I had an online dating site, but I just hated it, Rick. It was horrible. It was just no connection, and you get the guys, sorry, but they would send like the pictures, and it just was horrible. So I thought, I can't be doing with this. So I thought, right, I want to start up something different and unique. So I set up Mogul Matchmakers, and what Mogul Matchmakers does is we're completely different. So it's just not about dating and matchmaking. It's actually taking that person and making them feel really good about themselves. So it's kind of like getting them date ready. So if they've got no confidence, or if they're just not feeling great about themselves, I wanted them to love themselves. So when you love yourself, then others can love you. So that's kind of like the process. Then I'd matchmake them. And it's just the most rewarding, amazing feeling to see someone grows in like a really bad place. So that's where it all started.
Well, you've now become known as the go-to person for the media for this, and you've appeared on such programs as This Morning and Good Morning Britain, and spoken to people like Piers Morgan, and you've appeared on radio. So how did that happen? How did you become the go-to person for all of this?
Yeah, I think, well, sometimes maybe it's luck, but I think it's some of my clients, because don't take me wrong, it took a long time to build up the right kind of clients and the right people, but I met some amazing people, and I've helped so many people, from just normal mums down to celebrities, down to some very high profile business people, and from word of mouth, it kind of got out there, which I'm really lucky, and thankful for. And then once people start to get to know you and they hear about you, then I'd get asked to sort of, comment on the radio or a press article. And that's kind of like how it's grown, really, so organically.
So what made you write this book? Was some of it because you've experienced some of this yourself?
Yeah, so this book is quite different, I suppose, because obviously I am all about helping people, matchmaking and love, but it's actually through my own personal experience. So I went through quite a bad divorce, which I'll talk about in a moment. But this book, I wanted to help people and give them strategies, because when I went through divorce, it was very difficult. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to ask. I had nobody. And you've got places like Citizens Advice, and no offence, but they couldn't really give you advice, what I needed and what I wanted. So, and through working with lots of experts, and very trusted experts, and I'd probably say most of them are the leading experts in their field, I decided I need to help. I want to help all these women and men as well. So this book is there to help any woman who's kind of lost. So they might be in a relationship, and they might be okay, but they just want to maybe have a little bit of a boost, or perhaps you're in a relationship, someone's not particularly nice to you, and you're not sure what to do and how to get out of it. So there's lots of strategies and advice, and experts. We've got one of the leading law firms in London, and he's given some amazing advice which will cost fortunes. And what he does is, so if you're married to somebody, perhaps like an Indian gentleman, and you've got children with him, and he's threatening to take the children away, he has given the advice, the tips, all the strategies you need to do to protect yourself and look after yourself. And that's what this book is all about. And I've got one of the leading divorce experts, Sandro Forte, and he's, if you've got no money, you've got to start again. Like me, I had to start again. If you've got no money, he gives you advice on how to grow your money. If you have got a lot of money, you want to earn more money, he gives you advice. Or if perhaps you're married or in a relationship, or perhaps your partner might be hiding money. Guys are going to hate me, sorry about that, but he's giving you advice and strategies how to find out that money, what to do. And as well as that, I've got, when you've got children and you're in a relationship, the main thing is your children. You're frightened, you're not sure what to do, or even how to tell them. So I've got a lady called, she's Dr. Sarah Monday, and what she does is she gives advice like what your child's thinking and how to help your child and what to do and strategies to cope. So there is so much in this book. We've got so many experts. We've got celebrity stylists. I've got nutritionists, fitness. I've got Harley Street Clinic, and when you're going through, even if you're going through okay-ish time, but if you go for a bad time, sometimes your skin, you get breakouts, Rick, it's not good, and so they give her like tips and advice, what to get, what to buy. I mean, there's even a pot of magic cream, which is about, I don't know, £3 or £4 you can get in sort of I won't mention, but lots of shops. So yeah, there's just amazing advice with lots of leading life coaches. There's I think it's about 22 hours worth of tips and strategies to rebuild your life. But even if you're in a good place, you might just think, oh, I just could do a bit of like my image. Once you've had a baby, Rick, honestly, you wear black baggy clothes and things like that. So there's just something for everybody to help you boost your life.
Well, I was very impressed with this book, Lisa, with the amount of experts that you've managed to get together, and the
Mm,
fact that they are all experts in different fields. And that's one of the things, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people will be a little bit surprised that somebody who is known for matchmaking
yeah.
is writing a book about divorce, but it's
Mm,
very much you're very much somebody who wants to see people um, uh, have the life that they desire, and so it's not just about building their lives with matchmaking, but it's also about rebuilding their lives, and that might mean a divorce. So it was interesting to see how many of these experts um, will deal with each aspect of that as you are trying to rebuild.
yeah, yeah. As you say, for me, my personal experience, I think that's I got divorced. I basically lost my home. I'm going to give you the title. So I basically left home with a bag of clothes, my son, £250. That's all I had, and a cheese and pickle sandwich, which isn't great,
Very important
but I
cheese and
had to
pickle sandwich.
start my whole life again. I had nowhere to turn. I had no one to help me, and I really was in a bad place. And it well, my home. So I'd lost a home. I had to borrow money to be able to get a home, and I bought, honestly, stupidly, I bought a caravan, Rick. And I advise anybody, if you buy a caravan, buy one that's insulated. It was like a tin of baked beans. It was so cold in there. It was horrible, and I can still see it now and feel it now.
Sounds
I had to pee in
disgusting.
the bucket. Honestly, I literally, I think you hit a low point. I think I've gone even lower than that point. And the worst bit was it was coming up to Christmas, and my son went to his dad's, and I couldn't afford to buy him a Christmas present, and I just sat there in tears, and I just felt I wasn't good enough, and like, I was a terrible mum. And I got a load of pills and sat there, I went to put them in my mouth, and then I thought, what are you doing? And I literally give myself a big kick up there, you know what? And I thought, right, that's it. I've got to reboot my life and start again. And that's kind of, I suppose, why the reason why I wrote the book was to help others. And maybe if anyone's in my situation, or hopefully they're not, but if they are,
Well,
there there's
there
help
are a
there.
lot of people that will want to buy this book, and in fact, are watching this broadcast now, who will find themselves in a similar situation to the one
Mm,
that you found yourself in. And
yeah,
I think they'll be really heartened by what a success you've made of yourself, because it does sound as if you were at a very low point at one time. And to see what you've achieved now, that's why people should read this book, because it is about rebuilding your life.
yeah,
It's written for women,
yes.
but do you think men can learn from this book as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, God, it sounds awful because it's got well, he's got to go, he's got to go. But actually, it is for it's for women. Even if you're not going through divorce, even if you're happy, so it's for everybody. But also, men can read it as well, because it's not just about divorce at all. Really, it's literally about your life and how to rebuild it. So. Yeah, for any men out there of any age as well, this will give you so many tips, and not every bit, maybe someone doesn't have a child, but maybe you might have to in the future.
Mm.
It just helps you to get in the mind of your child, and if you're not going through divorce, but you might want to try and understand your children or financial. So yeah, it has something there for pretty much everybody.
Well, it's probably true that the pandemic is, and we're in the middle of the pandemic at the moment. We're a year into it now, so that will
Yeah,
have put a strain on a lot of relationships, won't it? And it also makes it very difficult for people to meet new people, because they can't sort of just go out to bars and clubs, and there'll be a lot
yeah.
of people swiping left and right, but not actually being able to meet up, I guess. So,
Do you know what, Rick?
so the pandemic's made a real difference, hasn't it?
Absolutely, because I mean, like, well, for our business, really, like, it's been very different. We've had to sort of like think outside the box. But I had clients fly in from America, or I was supposed to be going. This is just typical. I was supposed to be going to the Bahamas in February to meet a client, and I couldn't go. But as you say, you kind of have to think then, right, okay, how can we make this work? So for us, we actually set up doggy dates, which is a bit of fun, but actually we thought, right, we need to get out and obviously, still got to socially distance. And so we thought, right, okay, people are they're quite nervous. You've got anxiety. There's a lot of people with anxiety. So I thought, right, okay, if you take your dog on the date, or it kind of like you've got your best mate there. It's like your wingman. So it's a bit of fun. You can socially distance. You're in the fresh air in the park. And honestly, Rick, if I took my dog, she'd be out there eating all the sandwiches. She'd be a nightmare. But it's kind of like a fun talking point, and it's a bit of a laugh. But again, if you're not able to do that and go online, actually, I think it is a good time in that way, because you've got time to actually read somebody's profile. And guys are going to love me, right? So if you're actually on a date on a Zoom, you haven't got the expense. Hey guys, like no expensive meal, no bubbly, and you can kind of really get to know somebody. But again, as I said, there's a lot of anxiety. You're quite nervous. So what I've sort of introduced and said to a few people, I've written a couple of articles, is like, why don't you, while you're on the date, cook along with each other and have a glass of wine and have a bit of a laugh, so it takes away the nervousness and the pressure, and you're thinking about actually cooking and not thinking about the date, so people relax then. So
I don't think they'd want my cooking. That'd put them off completely.
Rosemary Schrager, she said to me, literally, Lisa, like, she's so lovely. She goes, "You are the worst cook I've ever met." She was on the floor crying, like, kind of with laughter. Honestly, I burn water, Rick. I am awful.
Actually, I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm hoping that she's not watching this, but years and years ago when I was younger, an ex-girlfriend cooked me a dinner. And because I was late, and I'm holding my hand up and saying I was late, but because I was late, she left the chips in the oil for all that time. And it was the first meal that she'd cooked me better, and I had to eat the whole meal. But you can imagine all the oil was coming out. So if you are going to use cooking for a date, I suggest you at least take the chips out. Now you
would have had a laugh with that, though. That's the only thing.
You did. I mean, I was only about 18 at the time, but yeah, I remember it was a laugh when I eventually admitted it to her. So you've co-written this book with Lucinda Ellery. So tell me a little bit about your relationship with her and how you met and how you came to do this book together.
Yeah, so Lucinda, actually she was best mates, rest in peace, probably Barbara Windsor, but they're very similar and they look alike. Honestly, there's so much fun. And I met Lucinda quite some time ago, and she's been through 3 divorces. And in the book she's put, "This is not my last rodeo," and it was quite funny, and that's what we kind of like was talking about. We want to help people, but also with a bit of like humour. But with Lucinda, she lost her hair when she was a young girl, had no money, started up a business, which is global. She's in all over America, here, there, and everywhere. Her businesses is, and she's doing so well. But she, similar to me, had to start again, rebuild her life. And it was very difficult for her as well. So I think that's what we want to do, is empower women. If you are in a bad place, or you're just like, "Oh God, what do I do? Or how do I start again?" I think this is why we both come together and like we want to change people's lives and help people.
Yeah. No, I think it's great, and obviously the two of you have been in very similar positions. So to have you two writing this book and with all these experts is wonderful. And I know that she's got her own company, you've got your company, and what we'll do is we'll put all of the links to your companies, and obviously where you can buy the book. We'll put that with this broadcast. The other thing is, of course, that people do see you on the television very often and hear you on the radio quite often, and you're going to be publicising the D word, aren't you, in both the UK and the US? And hopefully the lockdown will be finished and you'll be able to to go there physically rather than just do Zoom calls like this with them. But you're going to be doing a lot of publicity for the book that people can see and hear.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited, Rick, as you say, 'cause I think we've all got cabin fever. I just want to get out. But yeah, we've got lots going on, lots of filming, press in March, April, May, whatever you say, just depends on lockdown. But yeah, it's really exciting, you know, and really looking forward to just to helping people and like everyone to sort of be able to read the book and hopefully reboot their life. So yeah,
and I've agented this book for you, of course, which I didn't do your last one, but we will give your last one a plug, which is called The Secrets to What Men Really Want, which is also out there and available on Amazon. But this one is being published by Mooney and Lambert in conjunction with Agent Fox Media. So so that immediately gets us into that US market where you're just as popular. So that's great. Lisa, thank you so much for this. I wish you obviously every success with the book, because I've got a little hand in that as well. So it's in my interest for this book to be successful. But I think you should be very proud of yourself from where you were, where you've got to, and now that you're passing on all of that advice to people that find themselves sadly in the same situation. Thank you so much for this, and look after yourself in lockdown, and let's hope you
I will do, and hopefully Rick, we'll have the haircut next time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been talking to my wife about cutting it for me, but I think that could end in divorce, and I might need the book. So
no, she's lovely. So no.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing with the hair yet. Lisa Palmer, thank you very much. Good luck with the book.
Nice to speak to you. I'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was the wonderful Lisa Palmer in the Fox's Den, and talking about her life as well as her new book, The D Word, and the links to where you can buy this are with this broadcast, and we'll also we've also put links to Lisa's company and to Lucinda's company with this as well. The dates for this book are March the 4th. You're going to be able to pre-order on Amazon. The book itself, the release date is the 23rd of March, so not long to wait for this book at all. And I believe that you can also pre-order from the publisher directly. So we're gonna put the link to the Mooney and Lambert website as well. Thank you very much for watching episode 11 of In the Fox's Den, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.